Less than 4 years ago, WiiM wasn't even a thing, but now it's one of the leading lights of entry-level network and multi-room audio. And this new product, the WiiM Amp Pro, is its latest entry into the entry level. Now, I've left it rather too late to apply for the job of interim CEO at Sonos, so instead, I'm going to talk about a new product from a brand that sincerely hopes it can pick up some of the slack that Sonos had left behind over the course of the last 9 months or so. Now, on the one hand, the WiiM Amp Pro is an integrated stereo amplifier of the old school. It has Texas Instruments amplification, TPA 3255, I believe, which can twist out 60 watts per channel into an 8 ohm load. And it has a few physical inputs, including line level stereo RCAs, an HDMI ARC, which is always handy, digital optical input and an Ethernet socket, and outputs for loudspeakers, of course, and a preamp for a subwoofer and a USB-A slot. But on the other hand, it's also a network audio and multi-room music streamer, one that is room ready and that is DLNA compliant, that works nicely with Tidal Connect and Spotify Connect and Google Cast and Alexa Cast, one with a control app, WiiM Home, that is home to as many music streaming services and internet radio providers as you can shake a stick at. You have multi-room possibilities with other WiiM equipment, with Google and Amazon equipment, and with LinkPlay equipment as well. LinkPlay is the parent company of WiiM, of course. On the inside, there's an ES9038Q2M digital to analog converter, which is native 24-bit 192 kilohertz resolution. On the outside, there's a volume control and some LEDs that let you know what's what as regards volume level and the input you've selected. As well as the WiiM Home app, which is free for iOS and Android, there is a little but very useful remote control handset that's provided, or you can use Amazon Alexa or Google Cast if you like the sound of your own voice. Now, the app itself is extremely comprehensive. It includes everything from an alarm clock to a room correction routine to make sure that your system is set up to best suit your environment. It's not the last word in logic or navigation. For instance, input selection is buried way inside some submenus where it's difficult to get at, but it is stable and it does what you want. And in that respect, it's a lot better than some alternatives I can mention, particularly from brands for which I am not the interim CEO. Now, as regards the way the WiiM Amp Pro performs, I've gone on about this at length at sound-advice.online, but for now I will say this. This is a £399 amplifier, and it bears comparison with the best £399 integrated stereo amplifiers out there, I would suggest, because its sound is balanced and quite insightful and quite punchy and reasonably polite. It's important that you pair your WiiM Amp Pro with source equipment and loudspeakers that are appropriate in terms of their price. It can get quite out of its depth quite quickly, but you don't spend £400 on an amplifier in order to pair it with thousands of pounds worth of loudspeakers, do you? And then when you take into account its comprehensive and very usable network streaming and multi-room audio possibilities, this goes from being a very interesting amplifier to a very compelling proposition. So what this proves, I suppose, more than anything, I mean, it proves that WiiM know what they're doing, but we kind of knew that anyway. I suppose it proves that it doesn't matter how stupid or difficult to pronounce your brand name is, you can transcend that if your products are as good as this one.